What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Beyond the Scare. This is our Friday the 13th special edition. Happy Friday 13th. What's going on, Pauly?
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday 13th.
Yes, we in here. I can feel the creepiness and the spookiness around. All right, welcome to Beyond the Scare. As you know, it's a podcast we like to dive deep inside our horror franchises, our favorites, some of the classics, some of the upcoming. And we thank you so much for tuning in. We live right here on Instagram as well. And so today is a special episode, right? It's Friday the 13th. We only get a few more of these this year, right? And as you know, what they say about Friday the 13th, things are just off. Right.
A little bit. Yeah.
Just a little bit, it's some things seem to happen. So we're going to go over today. We have a special guest, but before we get there, we also are going to dive into some of our favorite horror films, but not only horror films, our favorite love horror films, because tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Yes. And as you know, if you're a horror fan, you know drugs, sex, and alcohol is a highway to death in a horror film. So you couples, be careful out there tonight. So we're going to dive into that. We're also going to talk about our any stories that we've want to share that happened in our personal lives. And then we're going to talk about some of these great movies based on true events. I feel like we need to discuss, and we're going to dive into those. So without further ado, let's get started in today's episode. Pauly, I'm going to throw it to you. What we got?
All right. I'm going to catch it. All right, let's go. Again, happy Friday 13th, everybody. This is going to be a great episode. It is Beyond the Scares edition, Friday the 13th, right? So
yes,
our special guest today, his name is Mike, and he is a horror fan.
Hey.
Mike, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good.
Excited to be here.
What's good, Mike? Oh, I love the blanket behind us.
Happy Halloween, by the way.
Happy Halloween, yes.
We got our strange couples here at the top. So,
hey, that's an iconic couple right there.
Yeah.
So, Mike, so obviously you're a horror fan, we know, and in case everybody doesn't know, I definitely introduced this awesome piece.
Love it.
Last episode, and Mike is the creator of that. He is the artist of this blanket here that I fell in love with. So, Mike, why don't you tell everybody about yourself and the company that you started?
Yeah, so my name is Mike Pena. So the company is named after my last name, which is pineapple in Spanish. And I'm an artist. I grew up just loving pop culture, horror themed, it's a lot of like haunted glamour. And I just started the company about 3 years ago. So it's been a journey, and just recreations, creating art pieces. I'm a painter, so love to do, on merch, t-shirts. I like to be in your guys' homes, wearing a bunch of stuff. Which is fun. And
from dusk till dawn, Summer Hyatt.
Yes, the bloodsucker herself. And yeah, my goal is just to be in everyone's homes and to touch everyone in a way where we are a community, and love to be, I love to share like those experiences and to be just a part of like this whole horror community. It's really cool. So I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, definitely. We experienced that love when we went to CreepCon. Everyone just loving everything about, horror, the classics, the characters, play those particular characters. It was a good time. So Mike, why don't you tell everybody when did you become a horror fan? Like what made you?
Oh man, I was shown everything as a kid, stuff that I even shouldn't have been seeing, but
us too.
I think I think I was first introduced to Nightmare on Elm Street, the third one, Dream Warriors, and I was young, and I was my older brother used to watch. It was all the 80s movies, and so I got introduced that way. And
Nice.
it was just iconic. And now, I don't know how many years later, just trying to, it's just stapled in my brain.
Yeah.
And these moments just create a really cool atmosphere. And so, yeah, I got introduced, I don't know, before 10 for sure. So, yeah, and then it just kept going from there. So
nice. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of our story also. Watching
Yeah.
movies that we shouldn't be watching at a young age.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, being the youngest of four, like you just made to do some stuff. So I was definitely in the front of the TV, so like that.
Awesome.
So was Freddy Krueger one of your favorite? Was that kind of like your introduction to the horror genre, or did you even go further than that?
I think that's just one of them. But I mean, you have, of course, Michael and Freddy and Jason. I mean, your iconic people, but it's also the movies that were a little just unconventional. It wasn't even horror. It was just stuff that was mysterious and suspense and different. And so, I like to provide for people who are just misfits that feel out of place, and you have a community going. So I think that's what it's all about, and trying to connect in that way too.
Yeah.
What I did have one question. Where do you get so as an artist, obviously, ideas that pop in your head, and you're very innovative and everything. So, how do you develop your certain takes on the work that you do? You know what I mean? So obviously, for example, this piece here, it's like a spin on the original movie.
Yeah.
How did you decide to do that?
It's weird. When I see something, I put like 5 images in my head and then I combine them. So yeah, whatever makes that moment, like her, that phone was just an iconic moment.
Oh yeah.
And so I had to be in bed with the phone and Freddie above her. And I always see things in like a glamour lens. It's like a filter. And so I try to make, I just try to make everything
make it glamorous no matter how.
Yeah. Things and get a little more bustier and curvier and
I'm sure Heather appreciated that.
Right. I was gonna say, see, really cool. the hair is laid. Those things perky. Okay, it's all. I love it. Love it.
Yeah. It's so good. Cool. Well, so as you know, Friday the 13th is today. Have you in your life, if you can recall, had any weird things or strange things that happened on Friday the 13th that you can think of?
I think it's the one time of the year I don't get anything. I get everything all the other times, and on 13th I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's like, it's like a nice Sunday.
It's like a nice Sunday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I honestly I can't remember anything off the top of my head. I know when I was younger, me and my friends did like stupid stuff and went to like Dan, you probably remember there is like the cemetery on Haynes that we went to on Friday the 13th, and there's always creepy stuff happening there, but that's nothing else that I can think of. What about you, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I am just saved and sanctified, so there's no nothing bad happened to me. No, no, actually, you know what? It's funny because I did get fired on Friday 13th.
That's pretty bad.
That was the only thing that happened to me, but I was in college. I mean, you know what I mean? But it was actually an on-campus job, and like I forgot what it was. Either I just kept being late or something. And I kept
we didn't wake up in time. We were like, fuck it.
And that was Friday 13th. And then after that, I said, damn, I'm done. But I do like to, I don't know about y'all, but I do like to, it's kind of like an extra Halloween for me. You know what I mean? I kind of like to, I was watching Chucky last night, like it's like a little extra time to be fun. I was watching actually 2, the second one. Yeah.
Which is a good one.
Yes, I really love that one.
I like it.
And people hate on the third one, but I like the third one a lot too.
Love the third one.
Yeah, third one is great. it's just something about Kyle and Andy's like camaraderie that just really makes number two for me. And just seeing that again, in the series recently and came back was awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. Very true. So, movie-wise, I mean, let's talk about this. All right. So today is Friday 13th. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So, Mike, like, what is your favorite, if you have one, that is, kind of like, I guess you would say, scary movie, or it can even be like a thriller or something like that, that also encompasses like, a love story or like a romantic type vibe.
So speaking of Chucky,
you
have to watch Bride of Chucky on Halloween.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a whole romance story. It's Tiffany coming putting it together. It's a whole Bride of Frankenstein moment.
I love that.
And that one as well. And I mean, that's just a staple that you have to watch every Halloween. It's really cool. And there's a whole marriage proposal and, domestic moments and killing and slashing. Like, come on. Like,
it's everything you need, apparently, right?
Everything you need. I mean, that's a very good pick. I love that movie. It's so funny. We see a whole different side of Chucky because that's obvious. The first time we get introduced with the Brian, and it's funny because you mentioned that yesterday I was watching Jennifer Tilly interview, and she was like so close to just not doing it.
Yeah.
And she saw it was really bad for her career. And then I think her best friend had talked to her. It's like it's every actor wants to be in a franchise. This is like every actor's dream, and then they didn't like her the way she played her at first. And then after a while it grew on them and they were like, okay, this can be something. And then there was one that blew up in the box office, right? So it was just interesting, reading or hearing that. And just also there's so many other instances where actors almost miss it or they almost say no or whatever. And then it just blows up.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny because that movie, like, there was so many deleted scenes from that movie.
Oh yeah.
You guys like read about the whole the song that they sang to each other that they got deleted. It was like so funny, and like you watch these scenes, you're just like, oh, that would have been hilarious. But obviously, timing,
just the intimate moment that they have.
Yeah,
I remember watching that in theaters for the first time.
Cracking up, man. It's just like, what is going on right now?
She's like, just like plastic. Just oh my god, it's funny.
I wonder if there was
a lot. It was a lot
on there.
That good. Danny, what about you?
Oh, my movie.
Yeah.
Well, there was quite a few that I was thinking about, but first and foremost had to show up was Valentine.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it's just such a great movie. I mean, it's the same kind of equation, as like Prom Night and the serial killer, but it's just done so nicely. Starring David Boreanaz, Katherine Heigl, Denise Richards, Marley Shelton, just a stacked cast, and it's very memorable. It didn't do well. Let me get that right. It didn't do well. Most of the memorable movies don't do well, but it did. I think I got like 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, 5 out of 10 stars. But yeah, it's just one of those movies that I really enjoy, and I'll just read what it's the synopsis for those of you who haven't seen it. I would definitely recommend checking it out. On the most romantic day of the year, tomorrow, would be lovers woo hearts with flowers, candies, and hearts, and cards and gifts. Best friends Kate, played by Marley Shelton, and Paige, Denise Richards. Also joining Dorothy, Lily, and Shelley are young women looking for a relationship, a Valentine to die for. And this year, they might just get their wish. So this is directed by Jamie Blanks. And it came out February 2nd, 2001.
Wow.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah. Valentine, classic. It's one of those movies that, you know, one of those, a lot, because a lot of them, this happens to a lot of them, right? When it's like a slasher that just bombs in the box office, but then becomes a cult classic later in like
Yeah.
and every horror movie fan knows this movie and they love it. It's even like resurfacing now. I don't know if you guys have seen it on like social media and everything. Like a lot of people giving it its props that it deserves. Like now,
Right.
So
Cupid face comes in.
Yes.
You know, that should be an actual. We gotta make a a remake, like, or something, reboot it. Cupid face can go down in history.
Yeah, and the creativity in the Valentine's Day cards are like phenomenal. That's the one thing I see. I'm like, oh, I want to recreate this stuff. Like, this is so cool.
Yes, that's so true.
Maybe next year.
That is a good pick. I mean, so Valentine's Day definitely would have been my pick too, but
I figured, you know, I was like, let me get to it before he does, because, you know, that's one of our favorites.
Definitely have the DVD. So I mean, mine is my pick is a little newer. It came out last year. Hard Eyes.
Yeah.
So in case anyone has not seen Hard Eyes, like I said, it came out last year, 2025. It's an American romantic comedy slasher film directed by Josh Rubin and written by Philip Murphy, Christopher Landon, who we all know and love, and Michael Kennedy. It starred Olivia Holt, whom I love too. I don't know if you guys have seen any other of her work. She was Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger, yeah.
She was in that. I watched her in that. And Mason Gooding, of course. So basically deals with two co-workers, one who is obsessed with love, one who hates love. And they find themselves having to work together and ultimately get chased by a killer. Right? So I like this movie a lot because it's like unconventional, right? It's a comedy about, and it has to do with love, but it's also a horror movie. You know, I mean, you don't see this very often, and when you do see it, it's not done well. I feel like this movie was done extremely well. The criticism I have heard about it is, you know, it's just people that are like, all right, you have to pick one or the other. You know, you have to either be a horror movie or you have to be, you know, a romantic comedy. And I don't agree with that. I don't think you have to choose at all. I feel like this was executed very well. It only grossed 33 million in the box office, but it was on a budget of like 18 million. So they profited it. And there is a sequel in the works. So, you know, there's obviously a demand for this movie. But yeah, that's why I liked it. I just felt like, you know, it's unconventional and it was hilarious. And it's the only thing I didn't like about it, I will say this, and you guys can let me know how you feel about it. I didn't like the motive of the killers. I felt it was like lackluster. I felt like it kind of like fell flat for me. I feel like it could have been better, even if they were just like, oh, you know, we just hate other people being in love. I thought that would have been a better motive than, oh, it's a turn on to kill people that are in love. You know what I mean? That just didn't hit for me. What did you guys think?
Mike, what'd you think?
I don't remember the motive.
So to be honest with you,
I was waiting. I remember the kills and I remember like the fun stuff, but I don't even remember the motive. I was like, oh, okay.
I think that kind of proves,
but you know.
Yeah, I think that kind of proves, you know, the point, as you're saying, like if it's not memorable, then it's like, you know. So but yeah, I feel the same. I feel like you know, we already got that. You know, Jason gets a turn on by killing people who are in love. You know, we already get that. You know, having a good motive would have made the movie like really hit. But I did enjoy it. It was entertaining. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with the sequel.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Right, we'll see.
Anything on My Bloody Valentine?
Ooh, My Bloody Valentine. So, like, I mean, we were actually talking about that earlier. So, Mike, have you seen the original?
No.
Okay. So you've only seen the remake.
True. Yes.
Okay. All right. The original is good too, so I would definitely check that out. I like the remake, and I mean, I don't know if it's one of those movies that should continue with. You know what I mean? It's just there's not much you can really more you can do with it to make it like creative and make it newer for a new audience, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the remake was a 3D one, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I agree. It's just like I don't think you can do too much more with it. A remake was cool to, I guess, introduce it, into our this generation. But yeah, after that, I think that's a wrap.
I mean, just keeping it real here. Just keeping it real.
Yeah, we just like to keep it real here. But yeah, that's those are our films. Valentine's Day, mixed with a little Friday 13th in there. So if you guys have seen those, or if you haven't, please check them out. Also comment, let us know what your favorite V-Day horror thrillers are. Because there's still a lot more out there we didn't name.
Yeah.
And so this Friday the 13th, I do want to finish things off talking about some great films, some great horror films you two know you've seen that are based on true events. So the first one I want to get into is Final Destination, right?
Great
Yeah, we all know and love Final Destination. If you have not seen it, what are you doing? So Final Destination is about American horror franchise owned by the Warner Brothers, right? It's through New Line Cinema, and it is the first one. Let's just say, obviously, they get on the plane. I'm sorry. He has a premonition starring Devon Sawa, Ali Larder, Tony Todd, rest in peace. Sean William Scott, Kerr Smith. Like, it's just such a great cast.
Yeah.
And they're embarking on a trip to Paris. He gets a premonition. A lot of them get off. A lot of the survivors get off. Turns out the plane blows up, catches fire. No one survives, right? This was released in 2000, March 17th. And so it was inspired by two stories, right? Which is interesting. So the first one, this one was vacationing in Hawaii in 1988. Aloha Airlines. She received a call from her mom telling her not to get on the flight, that she has a bad feeling about it. That her flight was the next day. She wrestled with the idea, but finally succumbed to her mom and canceled, rescheduled her flight. About $350 to do so. I don't know if y'all would do that, but we'll talk about that in a second. And so it seemed the next day, right, that same flight, the top flew off. There was only one fatality. One flew out of the flight, and then it crashed, landing in the ocean, right? But everyone else survived. That story inspired screenwriter Jeffrey Reddick, who did Flight 180, which was an episode in X-Files. So the X-Files had a Flight 180 episode, and then that turned into Final Destination, right? However, another story, TWA 800, this flight was actually happened in 1996, right? So the movie came out years later. The actual screen play was bought by New Line Cinema in 97. So just to give you a timeline here, right? So that 800 flight went from New York to Paris, and no survivors. It actually blew up midair, and it did have a class coming back from Paris, right? So that was actually one that they kind of they said really inspired Final Destination. Now, there's been some talks where screenwriter Jeffrey Reddick denied that, saying that he did get a lot of backlash. He was saying that he had the script written before this happened. However, people are saying that things were changed once New Line Cinema bought it in 96 or 97, I'm sorry, taking over and doing this TWA. So, which was interesting. I knew about one of the stories. I didn't know about the other. So what do you guys think about the backstory? And do you think Jeffrey Riddick changed it once that TWA flight happened? Because it is very similar to the first Final Destination.
What do you think, Mike?
This is the first time I'm hearing about these stories, and it's really cool. I was just like, like, what happened?
Right.
Wow. What was the question?
So do you think that Jeffrey Riddick, like, do you think he changed what they were pretty much accusing him of doing, right? So he made this, he wrote this Flight 180 based on the Hawaiian story, right? There was no casualty, one fatal casualty, and then after New Line Cinema bought his script, then this TWA flight happened. Same scenario, flight to Paris, all that, no survivors. What do you think?
Was it on Friday the 13th? Because it sounds pretty.
Oh my God.
It sounds pretty close.
Right? I have to go back to 96 and go to March 20th.
Yeah, it's pretty coincidental. I mean, it's spooky, but I'm pretty sure that he had to do what he had to do to make the movie, work and the script work. Yeah. So I mean, but that's a wild story.
Yeah.
So,
and like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened too. I agree with Mike, because I mean, directors and writers do that all the time. Even with the original Nightmare on Elm Street, it was written, Freddy Krueger, he was originally a child molester, right? He was a predator, and I forgot what was happening during that time, but they had to change the story to make him a child murderer instead, because it would have just been too much, and definitely he would have got backlash for it. And as you know, the remake actually brought that to light. So I feel like, sometimes you just have to do that, and that's probably what happened.
Yeah, and it's a touchy subject, and so as a director or creator, you have to pivot and go, okay, how do we still make the story work, and and make a movie.
Yeah, and make it sellable, right? Because it's all at the end of the day, it's all about what's going to sell. So I feel the same way. I just think Jeffrey, just own up to it. This TWA flight inspired me. You know what I mean? Because he was getting a lot of backlash from some of the critics and all that. Like, how dare you use this story? Well, I mean, Alive. I don't know if you've seen the movie Alive. That's about people eating. Eating, surviving. So I'm like, the stories need to be told, no matter how gruesome they are.
Correct.
So,
and it's art imitating life imitating art. I mean, where do we draw the line? So they have to be told. We can't cut out things. It's out there. Like, just let it go.
Right. Exactly. I agree. Another, as you mentioned, Paul, Nightmare on Elm Street. Another classic, right? Paved the way for so many horror films after. So originally, it was set when researching sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome, right? SUNS. So SUNS for those who don't know, it's a fatal condition causing unexpected cardiac arrest, and it predominantly happened in the 80s and early 90s to healthy Southeast Asian males during sleep, often linked to the Brugada syndrome, which is another cardiac syndrome. So it started, mainly from people, immigrants from Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. And so they were trying to figure out this heart condition is if it's something that's hereditary, if it's due to stress, is it due to trauma. And one particular Cambodian male was able to escape communism, the Khmer Rouge out there that was happening at that time, came to the US with his mom and his dad, and he was just plagued by trauma at night, right? He would be oftentimes screaming in his sleep. He was saying that he can't go to sleep or else something will kill him. And he's so determined to stay awake. They also found coffee pot in his closet, some non stay awake pills. I forgot what they're called, but in his bed, underneath his bed, in his dresser. And so one night they heard him screaming, and the screaming stopped. They came into his room, and he was dead. And the cause of death is still undetermined to this day. They just couldn't figure out what happened. So Wes Craven heard about that story, right, which inspired our lovely Nightmare on Elm Street. And he also mixed it with his childhood nightmare of a man in a fedora who grinned at him in his nightmare, and he never forgot that grin. So what do you guys think about that story and how it was used in what we call now is like such an amazing classic that went down in history? What do you guys feel about the story and where it took us?
Well, I'll start since it's my favorite franchise. So I think that's awesome. I mean, obviously, I feel like when a creator or writer makes a movie or writes a script or something, there's obviously something that's they're thinking about or something that's happened in the past or like something they want to draw a correlation to or connection to. So that is that's great. Like, that he was able to translate that into film, right? And something that fascinated me, and obviously that condition and everything, I don't know a whole lot about it, but just the way he interpreted that into the movie was that is an actual condition, right? People die in their sleep all the time, so if you have this villain or whatever it may be, an illness or whatever, something that attacks you, to attacks your system while you're sleeping, and you pass, he just created that to be an actual like individual, right? An evil, which is genius, right? And that's something that always, and even before knowing, all that backstory and everything, that's something that fascinated me about the franchise, is that like it's so real. You know what I mean? Obviously, you have your slasher movies, anyone can just like snap and start killing people and stuff, but it's something about not being able to escape, death in your sleep. Everyone has to sleep, right? And so that was amazing. But I'm ranting. Go ahead.
I completely agree. Fun fact, like while you were, Danny, when you were talking about the story, I have really vivid dreams. And right now, while you're talking, I just had deja vu with this whole thing too. So it's kind of weird when that happens. And so like, my dreams are so vivid, and like sometimes I'm woken up by them and I'm doing the same thing. And it's and I think of like past ones, and I dream of certain people and what they look like. And it's really cool, and kind of it's a double-edged sword that people died, and I'm sorry. But yeah, like it's a cool concept, and I'm glad that Wes is the man. I love Wes, so I'm glad that those movies were made. But Freddy just all the way with a red heart. But yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's a crazy story, as you said, creatives, take something real, turn into cult classics. But I want to get into our last one that we're going to talk about briefly. You mentioned slashers. This film revolutionized that slasher genre. Don't care what you think. Scream, right?
Yes,
Scream. Yes. Yes. New one, we're about 13 days away from the from Scream 7, so it's exciting. So Scream, the true story that inspired Scream was the Gainesville killings in Florida that happened. 5 victims between August 24th to August 27th. done by Danny Rowland. So he's AKA the Gainesville Ripper, right? So over these 4 days, he snuck into college dorms, and all his victims were women. He unfortunately confessed to raping several of them, and he even dismembered up some of them. So he went on for those 5 days, or 4 days, just sneaking into people's homes. They didn't even know he was there. Someone would be upstairs while he's working on someone downstairs. I know that sounds horrible, but the way I said it, but now he was, he'd be downstairs while someone's upstairs watching TV, right? And that's that creepy factor, is like, I could be here with you right now, and what's happening upstairs? You know what I mean? Like, that type of thing is really scary. Exactly. It's really scary. And so he and it's crazy because he actually was he confessed the attempting murder of his father before he even came to Gainesville, Florida, right? And this was in Shreveport, Louisiana. So he attempted to kill his father first and foremost, but he confessed, like I said, of all these things. He ended up murdering 8 people, and he was later executed in 2006 by lethal injection. And his killing spree went on to inspire Scream. So Kevin Williamson, writer, director now, was watching Turning Point. So an episode of Turning Point was going into Danny Rowland. That's where he got inspired. He heard a noise in his house. He was terrified. Went to go check his kitchen. He noticed that the window was open, and he doesn't remember opening his window at all. So he saw that, instantly thought about someone coming in there and murdering him. And so that's where Scream was born. And so, with Wes Craven and his genius, and they just tagged up and really created this, right? And I know you might know the backstory with the mask and all that stuff, but what I really wanted to dive into was that this Danny Rowland's character, he would duct tape the women, gag them, same type of thing we saw on screen. Him and his dad's relationship mimicked Billy and his dad. So it was a lot of things they used from Danny's life, really, and put it in the first one that became this classic and revolutionized the franchise. So what do you guys think about Danny Rowland's story?
Like, mind blown. Oh,
well, there you go.
Yo, this is creepy on Friday the 13th. This is
right.
It's so unfortunate, but man, those are really good stories, and it's crazy how that happened, and it's petrifying. Like, it's kind of creeping me out a little bit. But
right.
Yeah, just I'm like mind blown. I don't even. Wow.
Yeah, I think like the best part of like these adaptations of like real life events is that, the creativity and an innovation involved in it. Because, you can watch a documentary on, the Gainesville Ripper and, see what happened, everything like that. But when you see like, it in like a different art form, obviously you're not praising this person, right? You're not trying to highlight what they did and say, oh, it's like great or anything like that. But you're basically just, using this story to shed light on it. Because you know what I mean? Like, look at us now. We're talking about, this particular situation and where Williamson and Craven got, this masterpiece from, right? And, that's a great thing, I feel like. And that's what always is interesting to me. And, I like to see how writers and directors kind of like, just like bring it to life. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, you know what I mean? And like, and honestly, like horror movie fans I honestly feel like will survive anything, because we see all these things going down, and we're just gonna make sure we like for me, I know I lock my door, like it's just ingrained in my head every time I walk in. But before I go to sleep at night, I still make sure it's locked. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like you do.
Yeah.
And lights on and grab a weapon. Like, what's happening here? Why are you
Right.
walking in a hallway dark? Like, and grab a
Right.
weapon.
Grab a weapon. People are always like nothing in their hand. It was something great that in the Creep Con that Robert England, the great Robert England, said, and he was just saying, when he was asked why do we love horror so much, and he was just saying it's something that we all have to deal with. Death is something that's inevitable, and if we can create like a magic around that so that we don't have to be scared of it and then just embrace it the way it comes. That's why I think people are attracted to it as much. And that spoke volumes to me, because I was like, yeah, that is true. You know what I mean? And one of the it's like the number one fear in the world with us is public speaking. The second one is death. So it's like, it is up there, and I think we're a special breed because we can talk about it and watch it and do all this, and it does have that survival instinct to it. And yeah, I feel like I love what we do with these stories. I'd rather we do this than seeing another Dahmer movie. If I see another damn Dahmer movie, okay, or something,
Any of those, like Gacy, all that, like there's
right.
That's
what I'm like. And so, but if you turn those stories into like a Freddy, into Ghostface, into something that's like entertaining, so we're not praising these people, got to make a movie about them every single day or a series. I like that. It's more creative. Right. We can actually live in that world.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree to an extent of what the great Mr. England was talking about. I agree to an extent. But I don't know, like so for me, I don't know, for me it's like more so like the whole like story and like the creativity. You know what I mean? It's not so much more. I get what he was saying. I really do. And I think that may be the case, even maybe if it's subconsciously the case.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more so the story and like being entertained by it. You know what I mean? Because I mean, to an extent, some of these movies are just funny. But also, you kind of just watch it and you're like, kind of just like, oh, you start to like comment like, I wouldn't do that. Oh, I do that. That time, especially when you watch it so much.
Love that.
You know what I mean? Or like because I mean, over time, these things are just recycled, right?
Right.
That's why when you see like a horror movie, a good horror movie that's just like completely new and breathes new life into the genre, it's like fantastic. Like, for example, that's why I liked Hard Eye so much, because it hasn't been done that way. And you know what I mean? I literally just watched it 2 days ago again, because I'm just like, it's a great movie. You know what I mean? It encompasses a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Action, like comedy, horror, love, literally every genre is depicted in that. And, you kind of just like embrace that world and kind of just like drawn into it, at least for an hour and 30 minutes,
Yeah.
I do want to piggyback on that real quick and say also it's biological. Like your blood starts pumping and adrenaline starts pumping and you're already a drug. And so you're addicted to it and you're like, cool, what's going to happen next? And you don't know. And it's also a survival kit. What not to do? Like, guys, start watching. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not going to made out of skin for Satan. I'm good. Like,
no, I mean, the zombie apocalypse. I mean, we're ready.
We're ready.
Right.
I learned to watch twigs in the woods when I'm running from day one. Okay. I learned to watch them logs. I learned, what I mean?
Yes,
like
never walk too much without looking behind you,
Never read from the book.
Yeah, it's just like it's ours. So
The Mummy, Evil Dead, never read from a book. Like, come on, guys, what are we doing here?
Oh my God, yeah, no, right? It's like, come on now, yeah. I love the genre. We all do, and there's so many subgenres, right? And within the horror within the horror genre, so that's great too. You have your favorites within that. You know, the paranormal is one of mine. And
right. I was like, Danny, we know yours, paranormal.
So good. So good.
What's yours, Mike?
What's my favorite?
Subgenre, yeah.
Oh,
Do you have one?
It's like picking a kid. There's so many.
Right.
I couldn't even on top of my head.
I lean towards slashers. That's just like my favorite subgenre.
Yeah, slashers. I agree with that one for sure.
Yeah. That's my second one, but paranormal, I don't know, it just does it for me. Ever since what was it? Paranormal Activity revolutionized that genre, and then you had The Conjuring that came after. I was like, oh my god.
I was gonna say James Wan really messed me up the first couple
I know.
films. The Conjuring, Insidious. I mean,
yeah. It's just something about not being able to see what's there, and it's there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Easy.
But this has been great. This has been a great conversation. Thank you so much. It's been a great Friday the 13th episode here on Beyond the Scare. Any last words before we let go?
I will say I appreciate you both so much. Just letting me be here and talk about these stories. I don't get to do that often. I will say next conventions like come up. I love to hear these stories and what drew you to certain characters. But I just want to say happy Halloween, happy Friday the 13th, and just stay safe and go by the rule book, I will say.
And, Mike, where can they find you?
On Instagram, I'm pineapple_prince1, and my website is in the bio, and I do commission work. I'm a painter, I'm an artist, and I would just love to hear you guys' ideas as well. So I do that too.
Great, awesome,
awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. Are you have a con? Are you going to be at a con coming up or no?
I have the big one I do have is Monster Palooza in May.
Yes, indeed.
So if you're gonna be there, guys, stop on by. I'm usually in like the signers hall. So just look for the Sparky skeleton. That's it's our disco skeleton. His name's Elvis. You see him, stop on by, say hi. You'll see the blankets and a bunch of cool new artwork. So it's gonna be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's our next one too. So we're excited about that.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
All right, and you can find me everywhere at I am Danny Royce.
You guys can find me at Alpha Boy the I1. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Thanks for signing in and joining us and listening to our creepy stories. And we can't wait to see you guys again.
Yes, we'll see you next time. Stay creepy.